We're 5 races into the season and we're starting to notice some patterns, especially when it comes to the big dogs like Red Bull and Ferrari. Both teams appear to have adopted a different approach to complying with the new rules, but both cars are capable of winning races. Red Bull, on the other hand, appears to have worked out Ferrari. This season, both teams have been very evenly matched in terms of pace, but anytime there's an on-track duel, Red Bull appears to have the upper hand. What has Red Bull done to win, and why has Ferrari been unable to respond? Let's get started. So the short answer is speed. But that's not the whole story, and that's exactly what this video is going to explain to you. Make sure you watch until the end of the video so you're up to date with the latest news. The first point to discuss is how different these cars are. That's not even taking into account all the minor aerodynamic differences or how the engine output compares. But we're talking about the overall philosophy and design of these cars. Red Bull has a high drag, high downforce design, but they've completely stripped the car down to gain the speed on the straights. For the previous several races, they've been running it very low and with very low wing angles. It appears to be a car that's less consistent and it varies slightly each track. The length of the straights appears to be the car's most crucial variable, although this appears to be Red Bull's strategy for their car this year. You could wonder why they've chosen this path. What if they end up with a car that isn't nearly up to qualifying standards? However, as we've seen throughout the year, once they brought those tyres in, the rubber is much kinder to the tyres, and it then carries its straight line speed. Red Bull appears to be betting on long distance and race performance rather than one lap performance. As a result, Ferrari is able to deliver stronger Saturday results. All of this is in direct opposition to Ferrari. They've got a low downforce setup that makes use of the side pods to reduce drag over the rear of the car. However, they have been increasing the wing angle to ensure that they have enough downforce. As a result, Ferrari's car is effectively a very consistent car. It works extremely well in qualifying and certainly gets those tyres running pretty well. Despite the porpoising, it's very easy to handle around a fast single lap. The latest qualifying laps for the Ferrari and Red Bull were shown here. The red bits are where the Ferrari is fastest, while the blue bits are where the Red Bull is fastest. The pattern had already begun in Bahrain. The Red Bull is a powerhouse on the straights, thanks to a combination of setup, such as decreased downforce and the car's overall speed through fast corners. Ferrari dominated the middle sector, outrunning the Red Bull by 3 or 4 tenths of a second. It was faster through the braking zones and tight turns and had more traction on the exits. On to what Red Bull discovered, which began in Bahrain and continued from there. In terms of lap time, the Ferrari had been the fastest. When comparing Leclerc and Verstappen in Bahrain, the Ferrari was faster nearly every single lap, demonstrating what their car was capable of, despite the Red Bull being faster in some locations. Despite being significantly slower, the Red Bull was able to pass the Ferrari for a handful of corners. Then Red Bull doubled down on their low drag approach in Saudi Arabia, where the lap times were more comparable. Despite DRS dragging Leclerc back into the race, Red Bull won the race by passing and then staying ahead. And if you recall, when Red Bull and Vettel were together, they did the exact opposite. They had a lesser engine, so they concentrated all of their efforts on boosting corner speed in the hopes of securing pole. Then, before DRS kicked in, run away in the race. They now have the power unit to battle on the straights, reducing their reliance on corner speeds, which results in Red Bull employing other strategies. Then there's the recent race in Miami, where Red Bull went all out with a low downforce setup. While Ferrari went the opposite way and qualified first and second, the stronger downforce arrangement was actually faster in the end. But that wasn't the point. It was about passing, and Max was able to fly past Charles and then able to hold off the Ferrari. Despite the fact that Charles had DRS, it demonstrates to us how quick Red Bull is in a straight line. While Red Bull isn't assured pole, they do have a speed advantage in straight lines, as we've seen at races like Miami with lengthy straights and a lot of DRS zones. It's capable of easily passing the Ferrari on the straights. But as we saw during the safety car restart, even with the advantage of DRS, the Ferrari lacks the straight line speed to pass the Red Bull. This means that their car setup allowed them to beat Ferrari in races. What do you think about the Ferrari versus Red Bull fight so far this season? Is the advantage in straight line speed going to win the titles for Red Bull? Or will Ferrari be able to catch up soon? Let us know in the comments down below. One unusual aspect of the Ferrari's performance was their inability to protect their tyres. A higher downforce car should normally look after its tyres better, with less slide on those tyres. And that would usually be the advantage. increase downforce, and recover in the last phase of the race. What is going on since Ferrari was unable to do so? Why is a Ferrari with a lot of downforce hard on its tyres? Clearly, it puts the tyres through a phase early in their lives where they're severely punished, as the tyres lose some of their gauge and tread. It appears that the Ferrari is simply overheating these tyres. So that's all there is to know about Ferrari's new low-profile Pirellis, which are designed to provide a speedier warm-up and less thermal degradation while sliding. They haven't really characterized these new tyres yet because of all these variables. And what Ferrari is doing right now with these tyres isn't really working in race circumstances. It works in qualifying, which is terrific, but it isn't right when you have a competitor who can drive right past you. So Ferrari has some work ahead of them. Perhaps not so much in terms of aerodynamics as in terms as how they get the tyres in. Perhaps something in the details of their suspension, such as the dampening, springing, and things like the camber change with the dispenser's geometry. It's something Ferrari will have to consider if they want these new tyres to be truly effective. Let us know in the comments down below what your opinion is on Ferrari's race strategy. With that being said, Ferrari is expected to bring their first big upgrades to the next race in Spain, confirmed by their team principal Matteo Binotto. The development race will be essential as both teams aim to enhance their cars faster than the other, and with the Spanish Grand Prix coming up next, plenty of modifications are expected all around the paddock. Teams frequently bring a variety of changes to test on their vehicles in Barcelona, and Binotto has stated that Ferrari will do the same in order to keep up with Red Bull's growth. We're approaching an interesting time of year as we approach several of the European events, which will inevitably shape the title battles even further. It's evident that it's Ferrari versus Red Bull right now, and both teams will be working around the clock to get even a tenth of a second advantage. So, what upgrade is Ferrari going to bring to Spain? Well, Binotto stated that it will be an important package of upgrades. That will go on for a long time. The upgrades will be a technical confrontation to the car and will not be the biggest of the updates for this year to come. What upgrade do you think Ferrari will bring to the grid in Spain for the Formula 1 Pirelli Gran Premiero de España 2022 at the Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya? Let us know in the comments down below. That's all for today's video. Make sure you like the video and subscribe to our channel to stay updated with all the latest news on the grid. We'll see you in the next one.